and roll up way too loud. All there, but mama be proud. In the alley where the cruise go past, slip around me and I head down.
All right, here we go. Putting together 3x4. They all pretty much go together the same. Got my rope seal down in there. Got a little grease on it. We're gonna do the mechanical seal, so you need to ensure that that dowel pin is installed properly, and that dowel pin needs to line up with the groove in the mechanical seal. This is a tungsten seal. If you don't line it up, it will not seal, period. This type of stuffing box only has one bolt. That's fine, no problem. And I pulled the adjustment mechanism off the old stuffing box. I didn't have a set to reuse, and honestly, this had got very low hours on it, never been adjusted. So we're gonna reuse it. The reason for the grease especially is this is not a greasable housing. So you wanna make sure you put some grease in there. This is really just a backup to the mechanical seal. All right, so I showed you the tungsten seal. There's your roll pin. Like I said, you gotta have that roll pin in there. The easiest way to do this is put it up on a vise or something where you can get some light in there and really see what's going on. You want to make sure that it's lined up for sure. You can see that's going to sit in right there. Alright guys, so I used this 2 3/16 socket, any socket that'll span well over the top. And then you just want to check, make sure that it's seated down there. If it's seated, then it went down past that roll pin. That's where you want it to be. Once you slide it in, you want to double check in there that it is seated properly. It's real hard to see on camera right now, but I checked mine, it is seated in there properly. All right guys, so the next step is going to be the spring assembly and the seal. Make sure that you also keep the O-ring in there. I kept this one out. You can see I had a little trouble getting it apart, but I kept this one out so that I could show you guys exactly how it came out. So what you're doing is you're looking to match that. Obviously, you've got this tapered side of the seal right here, which is going to meet up with this side of the surface, not that side. That's the side that's up against your roll pin. It is a tight fit when you go to slide it in. You want to keep an eye on the O-ring as well. You just kind of work it around. You can start your O-ring on there if you want. I've got a little tiny bit of PB Blaster on the surface. I can slide in a little bit better. But you'll see it's a pretty snug fit. All of that slides in. And then your next step is going to be threading on your impeller. Now I've got a cast iron impeller here. This is what was on the shelf. I'm just using it up because it was already here, and this is a spare pump at this point. But the ultimate plan is to end up having all of the pumps rebuilt, all with the chromium alloy material that Mud Puppy sells. We actually get it from Rob Bruce at Whole Products. They've been really good to us. Rob Bruce also recommended this nice mechanical seal. I like it a lot. It's been a good performing product for us. This is going to be, again, just a spare pump that we're putting up on the shelf. I thought it was a good time to make a video while my rig was down for some other stuff. So I'm using what I've got on the shelf. As we all know, in water well, budgets are always kind of tight, so we use up what we've got, but we're definitely going to end up switching all of this over to that chromium alloy, again, that we get from Rob Bruce at Whole Products. It's made by Mud Puppy. All right, guys, I just got it started on. It's a little hard to hold the camera while I was starting it, so you didn't get to see that, but I've got it started on the threads now. It's going to head in. I've got a pipe wrench holding just a little bit of backup against it on that shaft back here. I'm not terribly worried about marring up the shaft a little bit because we're not going to end up using that part of that shaft moving forward. Well, I thought I was going to get lucky. Got it hand tight, but it's impacting the stuffing box. So what we're going to have to do is come back here and so what I had to do was come back here, remove the hydraulic motor mount, and you loosen these two lock bolts up, and then you actually adjust it in. This bolt here and this bolt down here. It doesn't take much to move it. Now you see it moves freely. That's what we're looking for. I could probably back it up just a hair. I'm going to tune it a little bit, but the important part is it's not hitting the plate, stuffing box plate, anything like that. That's what you're looking for, is get that clearance in there. You definitely don't want it to touch. You'll eat everything up and lock it down in a heartbeat. So what it does is actually adjust the entire shaft. It travels all the way through here. You can see there's a gap back here, back of the housing. That's what it's changing. So you see, if you were to thread that lock nut up and jam it, it's going to jam in there. It's going to lock that housing in place so nothing can move. All right, guys, here we go. See, got a little clearance in there now. I like it. May not be set to manufacturer's specs. I'm sure somebody will tell me. That's all right. It's set very close. You got to remember, when you go to reassemble, just as when you disassembled, this nut is a left-handed thread. So it's going to feel wrong. It goes the opposite direction of what you think it should. You get the motor housing back on as well. I'll run an impact up on this. Now I'll mount the snail housing, and this baby will be buttoned up and ready to put on a rig when we come around to the need for it. I know all of these were highly technical terms that I used. Guys, I don't know the right name for any of this. Honestly, not too worried about the right names for a lot of the parts. Just kind of a dumb old well digger, but that's how you do 3x4 centrifugal pump. And I wanted to show you guys some of those products that we had from Whole Products, the mechanical seals, things like that. One of the things I've always noticed, it seems like almost every time we have a failure point due to sand running around in there, it's always where this drain plug is. We're in Texas, so it's not a big deal to me. I'd probably weld that up if I got the opportunity and just be done with it. But to each his own. Everybody does what they want to do. It doesn't matter to me either way, but I'll show you. Look how wore this is. It's only got about 400 hours on it. Now, a lot of the problem for this is the mud system was not separating the sand properly because the driller didn't have it set quite right. Or it wasn't functioning quite right. I don't honestly know. But you can see where it ate a hole. It's right by the drain plug. The drain plug's got a deep groove in it as well. And there's stuffing box. There's a bit of a problem right there also. But you can see how bad a shape it was in. That's why it's important to make sure that you have a system that's really removing all of the sand and materials from your mud. Otherwise they go in and they eat it up real quick. You know, now I hammered on these, so don't use that. It's part of your judgment, but you can see the impeller itself wasn't in too bad a shape. It's not great, but it's not bad by any means. All right, so here we go. Fix to put the snail housing on. You got to put your little gasket on here. Give the camera work, guys. I'm not used to doing videos here, but this is my first of many more. You can see it doesn't quite slip over, right? Just tip it a little bit. That'll get it up over the lip, give you the room you need, and just slowly work it around with your fingers. It's not a big deal. She'll set down in the right place. It's not perfect. When I put that snail housing on, it'll set down where I want it to. I'm gonna go ahead and time this one for the rig that it came off of. You can always adjust them around, time them where the outlet is, wherever you need it to be. And there you go, guys. I'm gonna throw the hydraulic motor back on the back of this, put the cage on it. But that's not necessary for this video. That's particular to the rig that this goes on. She's done, she's buttoned up, it's timed up, ready to go. So it's a quick swap out. If it fails in the future, not a big deal. A couple hours in the field, be back up and running, which I think is key. One of my big things is downtime, which you can see. I know y'all love my fancy workbenches. That's my Fabco 270-15 transfer case. Got it all apart. Got bearings being pressed on, gears being pressed on, that kind of stuff. That's another video for another day. But this one, about 10 minutes, be ready to go. I'll come back in the morning, clean up my mess, and call it a day. Appreciate you guys watching. Something I forgot to mention to you guys, I did check to make sure it was there on mine before I installed it. I didn't mention it in the video. There's a little O-ring that goes on your impeller as well. You need to make sure that you've got that in there. I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Pretty straightforward, easy repair. I know some people like to send them out and get them redone, but it's very easy to do in your own shop. It doesn't take a lot of fancy tools. Honestly, I've got all Harbor Freight brand. It doesn't seem to matter what I run. They only last so long, so no sense in spending a lot more money on it. But my Harbor Freight brands have done real good for me. Again, the products from Whole Products, specifically the chromium alloy products, that's what I prefer to run on this pump. Again, I didn't have it. I'm not going to spend the money on it right at the moment, but we're going to spend it here in the next couple of months, and I'll have it sitting on the shelf ready to go inside of the next pump that goes bad. We've got some other gearboxes around here and things. I'll probably do another rebuild with those products as well, because I'd like to show you the difference in them. But I got to get them ordered, and you know that always takes money that Waterwell never seems to really have. So I'm going to throw the hydraulic motor back on the back of this, tape up the connections, and I'll clean up the rest of my mess in the morning. Appreciate you guys watching. Any constructive criticisms I'd love to have. Everybody does this stuff a little bit differently. Everybody's got different tips and tricks. As a group of Waterwell guys, we're very interested in always learning from everybody else. There's been a lot of you guys that I've learned a lot of stuff from, and some guys that aren't in the Waterwell industry, but in the drilling industry in general, that I've learned a ton of stuff from over my 22 years in this industry at this point, or the drilling industry in general, I should say. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all watching the video. I'm gonna button this up, call it a day. It's I don't know, 6-something o'clock here, and I gotta be back up here at the shop in the morning to get everything up and going. So appreciate you guys watching.